Welcome to the final Drake Broadcasting System pre-show of the 2018 Drake Relays. I'm Carson.
And I'm Lexi. Relays is off to a strong start with 2 records broken yesterday. Krista Schweizer, competing for the University of Missouri, broke the relays record in the women's 5,000 meter with a time of 15 minutes, 23.21 seconds.
Meanwhile, Adva Cohen also set a relays record. She competed for Iowa Central in the steeplechase and finished first with a time of 9 minutes and 52.37 seconds.
But relays events have been occurring all week. Reporter Noah Manderfeld went downtown to cover a high-up event.
On Wednesday, Olympic athletes went to Capitol Square to jump, and jump some more. For the 3rd year, the Drake Relays pole vault was held at Capitol Square. 10 competitors, 5 male and 5 female, jumped the vault.
Olympic athletes from all over sprint and try to jump over this pole. It gets up to over 18 feet, about to the 2nd floor of the mall.
Many people from both Drake and the community were in attendance, including Drake's live mascot, Griff. Ben Hines, a Drake sophomore, spoke about the athleticism of the athletes.
I can't even imagine like the athletic skill and just all the training that goes into having to do that. You know, I haven't done that. I doubt hardly anyone here has. And so it's easy to kind of forget like how much training and preparation really goes into something like this.
Brenna Lilac, also a Drake sophomore, talked about her amazement.
I think it's amazing that they can like jump that high because you can tell like being in a building like this, you can tell that they're jumping like at 2nd story heights.
When asked if they could do it, their answers differed.
Like I don't think I could really do anything with the pole, so I guess just kind of how much I could like jump over a pole like normal jumping, you know, like.
I don't know, a foot.
I think it's safe to say the athletes do it better. This is Noah Manderfeld reporting.
Jen Sir and Andrew Irwin were this year's pole vault champions. Irwin set a personal record of 18 feet and 4.5 inches.
Today, we'll be discussing relays legends, current and future ones. Some of our reporters chatted with a competitor vying for one of the most coveted relays titles.
All bulldogs are beautiful, but here at Drake University, we have the most beautiful dogs around. Every year during the Drake Relays, hundreds of people come together to celebrate the crowning of the winner of the Beautiful Bulldog Contest. This year, we have 40 contestants from all around the Midwest come to the Knapp Center to strut their stuff. This will mark the 39th year of the contest. In the past 39 years, over 2,000 beautiful bulldogs have made the pilgrimage and competed on the Grand Blue stage. As we entered the Knapp Center, smiles and snorts were all around. Happy owners with their even happier bulldogs dressed in their best to impress the judges. Excitement was in the air, and so was a lot of dog hair. As you can see, we got the chance to run around with many different bulldogs, but our reporter, Emma Kerr, had a personal favorite. Let's check out on him and what his owner had to say about him.
All right, so what inspired the look for Rocky today?
Of course, the fighter. Rocky is by far one of the biggest blessings that God has given me movie-wise, just because it's just so inspiring. So before I even got him, I knew that whatever dog I had, his first name was going to be Rocky, and then sure enough, someone said they just wanted to give him away for free, like just literally just give him away, yeah. So just how everything works out, and right when I got him, Rocky was his name before he even knew it.
So would you say that he fits the persona of Rocky?
Yes, so he's so athletic in the sense that first I could just play with him and run with him, and then his obsession with toys, like we thought we were just seeing if he could swim because we're always on the lake. So we tried to like throw him in the lake, which was not a good idea because he hated that. Well, then one time we threw a toy into the lake, and then he just started swimming. So now like 2 hours a day during the summer, we're gonna go to Gray's Lake, swim for about an hour, 2 hours, and then go get puppy cones at Snooki's. The hospitality that the Drake Bulldog Contest provides for us as contestants, and then we just get to just enjoy the rest of it, which is just tons of dogs out here, and all of them are so beautiful, so they do a good job of taking care of everybody and making sure that everybody has a great time, as you can see he is.
How do you feel about that, Rocky?
Although Rocky did not win the Beautiful Bulldog contest, he certainly won our hearts. Bo Z took home the grand prize and will be recognized at noon tomorrow at the Drake Stadium.
Next up, we are joined by Drake's legendary mascot, Luke.
Thanks, Carson. I'm sitting here with Drake royalty. Please welcome the live mascot of Drake University, Griff. Griff, thanks for joining us today. Now, Griff, let's get right down to it. The question everyone has been dying to get answered. Griff, are you a good boy? Last Sunday was the Beautiful Bulldog contest at the Knapp Center. Bo Z won the titular crown, yet some members of the audience believed that Sweet Sassy Molassie was snubbed. You were there. What are your opinions on this controversy? I agree. Now, you're the face of Drake University and of Drake Relays. What events are you most looking forward to? Are you into sprints, or are you more of a hurdles guy? Or distance? Any of the jumping ones? And finally, from what you've seen thus far, is this Drake Relays the best Drake Relays you've ever seen? Thank you so much for your time, Griff. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Luke and Griff. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned.
We'll be hearing from Relays hopefuls and a Relays champion when we come back.
94.1 The Dog, Music Unleashed. Coming up, Beyonce.
Next up is Les Miserables.
Coming up, we got Kendrick Lamar.
Next up is I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Up next is Tim McGraw.
Next up is the Eagles.
Next up is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Next up is Cardi B.
Next up is Twist and Shout. You can hear anything on Drake Broadcasting System's student-operated radio station 94.1 The Dog. Head to drakebroadcasting.com to find the schedule and how to listen online.
The Drake Relays is unique in that it is host to athletes from high school all the way to Olympians. Carlisle High School's track and field team is prepping for their chance to perform on the Blue Oval. Hannah caught up with some of the Carlisle students.
Carlisle High School has been working hard to get their athletes ready for Drake Relays this year.
Pretty much for the throwers, track doesn't stop. We work all year round. We're in the weight room, taking out the little things we do to get better.
For a lot of these athletes, track is more than just a sport.
The team aspect, like I've never been as close to anyone as I have than these girls.
Carlisle will also be sending athletes in team events.
We were really close to making it to Drake last year, but the cutoff, we had a fall and we got booted out at the last minute. And so I'm excited for all of us to just be able to do this as a team for Erica's senior year.
I'm just excited to be able to go to the Blue Oval. I think it's a really fun experience to be there.
Coming to you all the way from Carlisle High School,
I'm Hannah McCoy.
Last year, the Wildcats set a record in the shuttle run and led the high school field in number of events qualified. They hope to continue that pace this year.
Last year's winner of the elite 400-meter hurdles is returning to defend her title, and she's also returning to the DBS pre-shows.
That's right, Lexi and Carson. I'm here with Georganne Moline, and so Georganne, you of course are an Olympian. Why don't you walk us through the daily life of what it's like to not only be an Olympian, but just a track athlete?
Everything revolves around practice and eating well and sleeping. So everything just so that when I come to meets like this, I'm fully prepared. So it's not just a physical, strain, but also mentally. I got to mentally prepare myself daily so that when I come to the competitions, I can be consistent, be ready, and compete.
When you come to the track and get ready to compete on the day of or just leading up to it, is there a special routine that you go through?
Yeah, definitely. So I always have a banana. This is like a thing, and everyone asks, do I love bananas? I don't love bananas. It's just something that I started in college, and I'll have one right before I start my warm-up, and that's like the go-to. I have to have a banana.
Is it the potassium? Is that what it is?
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that.
So back in 2012, you competed in the London Olympics. You got 5th. How did that feel after finishing that race?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, my goal all year, I was undefeated until nationals, and then I fell on my face at nationals. And so for me, I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to end the season with a bang, and I want to just make that final and see what happens. And I ended with a PR, and yeah, it was just the most amazing feeling ever.
And so you of course got hurt during 2016, unfortunately, so you can compete. in 2020, what's your goal there? Do you look for redemption after?
Oh, totally. I just see gold. I mean, I haven't really envisioned anything other than gold. So for me, yeah, I just want to go win the whole thing, come out with a world record. I actually want to get the world record before then, but if it doesn't happen before then, definitely in 2020 would be a great place.
Yes, I think anyone would want a world record, honestly, that event. But you're back to defend your gold in the relays.
I am.
How are you feeling going into the race today?
I feel awesome. I mean, I was just hoping, crossing fingers, that it would be above 40 degrees, and it is. So I think I brought some of the sunshine from Arizona with me, so I'm super excited. And I'm just going to go out there, have fun. I mean, the crowd, they always bring energy. So it's inevitable that it's going to be a great race.
And you talked about the weather. Well, thank you for bringing the weather. It's been a while. How do you think the weather is going to affect your performance?
You know, weather can... For me, I mean, I think it's more of like a mental thing. Last year, I think a lot of people let it affect them mentally. They were like, it's just so cold. But I was like, all right, I'm just going to stay warm, and that's all I can do. I can't change the weather. You know, it's the same in lane 1 as it is in lane 8. So I just went out there, and I'm going to really not even think about the weather. I can't control it, so I have no control over it.
What is your favorite part of the relays?
Oh, man. I love the energy and the people. Like, I think they quoted me actually last year or 2 years ago. I saw this girl eating a hot dog, and it was freezing and raining, and I was like, she's out here eating a hot dog watching the relays. Like, how, like, wow. Like, it doesn't get better than that, you know, like, people just enjoying it. So I just love the fans and the energy it brings.
What are your favorite events to watch as a spectator?
I think the shuttle hurdle relay is super fun because you don't see that often, you know, so I think that's so exciting to watch. That's probably my favorite. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, good luck tomorrow, and I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
And talking to us again. It's an honor. Honestly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so let's send it back to you, Lexi and Carson.
The women's elite 400-meter hurdle event is scheduled for 2:17 p.m. tomorrow.
The next relay is near and dear to the hearts of journalism and mass communication students. David Wright famously enjoys putting his students through a semester of 8 a.m. classes. He sits down with Emma to talk about his illustrious Drake career and this year's relays.
Do I like your beard? I think the beard is awesome, but you got to work on your trimming technique.
I know, it's a little choppy.
It's a little uneven, you know, and your hair is even wider than mine, so you've really been stressed the last week.
You know I have with relays coming up.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
know.
Stressful time of the year.
It is. It's very stressful.
So speaking of relays.
Really?
What are you most excited about for this upcoming relays?
Weather? No, I really hope we are due for some nice days of weather.
I have heard, yeah.
And so I would have to say I'm hopeful. I don't want to get too excited, but the forecast right now looks like mid-60s, which sounds like luxury after what we've had the last few weeks.
Yes. And then, so going forward, you're obviously retiring.
Yes,
obviously. But I have heard...
31 days.
31 days?
Yeah, but when this airs, it'll be more like in the 20s, so that's good.
Probably.
Yeah, not that I'm counting, but I'm counting. Okay.
So, yes, going forward with your retirement, I've heard that you are taking a new position with Drake Relays, and would you mind telling me a little bit about that?
Now, athletics has a full-time video person who's great. Sean Ingrassi does a great job, and he's really kind of taken that over. So I still assist with students working with the coverage that he does and that we do for streaming. But my role's decreased a lot. I used to set everything up and everything. So I've approached Relays and said, well, things are changing. Where do you need me now? Well, the person who controls everything that goes up on the board, so there's a mixture of the scoring, the timing, and the video, and commercials and everything. He's been doing it for 7 years. He comes from California. He's done with this. So I'm going to take over that role. So everything you see on the board starting next year, I'll be controlling. I'll be doing some of it this year, too, so I control what goes up there.
Well, that's
so
good to hear.
kind of like I'm captain.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the curtain, you control everything. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So I'm going to continue working, doing relays. I love relays. It's in my blood.
I am excited to experience.
Good, good. You're actually going to go to the races?
I think so,
Good. Well,
yeah.
not a lot of students do, so it's a good thing you go. You know, I think it's worth seeing.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I have for you.
Great. Well, thank you for coming.
Yes,
and
thank you for your time.
I can give you some tips on trimming the beard, really, you know. And
I do
you're
need
doing
that.
a great job shaving the top of your head, you know, better than I am. I nick it all
nice
the
and
time.
aerodynamic.
It's very clean and very sweaty underneath, but the beard, I could give you some tips, okay?
Awesome. All
Okay.
right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Happy relays.
Thanks, Emma. That beard is really starting to fill in. Professor Wright will certainly be missed.
Our final interview of 2018 is with an athlete that has returned to Des Moines in hopes of becoming a relays legend.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ryan Crouser. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, you won gold in the men's shot put, not only winning the Rio Games, but also setting a new Olympic record, which you're still in possession of. Tell us what was going through your head after your historic throw and what you felt as you stood on that podium.
I mean, for me, it was really special growing up in a track and field family. It's kind of unusual. I mean, most kids grow up like having their dads play football or basketball. And granted, my dad and uncles all played in high school at varsity level, I mean basketball, football, but they all ended up going to college for track, which is kind of unusual. And so most of them were all down there, and so it's kind of a family affair being there in Rio and sharing that moment with them. And I mean, I wasn't even the first Olympian in my family. My uncle was in '88 and '92. He was a jab thrower in Barcelona. And then I was actually roommates with my cousin in Rio, so it was kind of a family affair.
Now, you're 25 now, but when you won gold, you were 23. What was it like to win Olympic gold while still on your parents' healthcare plan?
Yeah, 2016 was a pretty good year for me. I had just graduated in May with my master's, finished my master's in finance in 1 year at the University of Texas. So finished in May, made the Olympic team in June, and won the Olympics in August. So I'd say that was a pretty good summer for me.
And you competed in the Olympics. This was your first time even going to the Olympics, and you won gold.
Yeah, it was, I mean, just everything for me went perfect. The preparation was good, and I worked with my dad at the time as my coach for the most part, as well as I had the chance to work with Olympic gold medalist Mac Wilkins, who won in the discus in '76. And so just having them in my corner, did everything I could to prepare well, and then it just happened that night was my night.
This will be your first time competing in the Drake Relays. What are your expectations going in?
I'm excited. I mean, you hear a lot of good things about Drake Relays with the competition, the fans, and so I'm excited to be here. The one bad thing you hear is the weather, constant complaining, especially I'm training in San Diego right now, so everyone's like, oh, you're going to Drake, the weather's terrible, and then they're all sitting at home and check the forecast when I leave. And they're like, oh, we want to go now. It's like 65, 70 degrees and sunny. So that was my one concern, was that it's been a relatively cold winter. I was here for the basketball game, and I was frozen solid. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And, yeah, my biggest concern was the weather, and it's looking like it's going to be nice.
Right. While this is your first relays, it's not your first time competing at Drake. Like you said earlier, this January you stopped by the Knapp Center and showed off your moves on the basketball court. And it was terrifying. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. But how did your background in shot put help with your skills on the court?
So as a shot putter, it's a lot of explosive training, and it's an explosive movement. I mean, it lasts less than 2 seconds. And so all our training is fast twitch. So it's a lot of plyometrics and a lot of Olympic lifting and a lot of just using your legs. And we actually just train jumping quite a bit. So I definitely have a decent vertical I'm 36, 37-inch vertical at 305 pounds, so I can still get up there. And I do have a basketball background. I played varsity basketball and was conference player of the year my junior year of high school before I just went to focus on track. So I've been on the court a few times, but it was about 100 pounds ago.
Sure. How do you go about training for an event like the Drake Relays? Because this isn't the Olympics, okay? This is the big leagues now.
So for me, I'm excited. My training's been going well. I had a hand injury in January, which sidelined me for 8 weeks, and so I mean, shot put can be really frustrating because it's in great shape, but you really just use your hand. If your hand's not healthy, you can't throw. So I've just coming back from that and back throwing for 5 weeks now. So I'm just excited to get out there and compete. And so my training's going really well, and I'm happy with where things are at, especially with limited time back.
You'll be competing in the men's invitational shot put competition. This year will be the first year since 2013 to feature this event, and the competition this year is ridiculous. There are 9 throwers, all incredibly successful and respected. You'll be going up against Tom Walsh, the 2017 world champion, who won bronze the same year you won gold. There's Ryan Whiting, a 6-time world championship finalist, who also holds the Drake Stadium record. How do you feel going into this year's relays, and what do you think of your competition?
I mean, it's definitely a stacked comp this year. I think it's pretty safe to say that Drake Relays record will go down. It's going to take more than that to win. I mean, Tom's been really hot right now with what he's been throwing, and he's already 10 meets in this year, so this will be his 11th meet. So he's rolling, and then you've got a lot of just talent out there that somebody's bound to have a big throw at a big meet like this, a big atmosphere. You see some guys fall back, but you'll see a couple of big performances. So you know there'll be another guy that steps up. Might be Whiting, might be Drill Hill. So it's going to be a great comp out there. So I'm just looking for consistency. My first meet back, I know that the long-term training base is there, and so I just want to start off with a nice performance, and then hopefully I feel like I should be able to hold my own out there. I'm confident with where my training's at. I wouldn't be doing a meet if I wasn't.
According to Wikipedia, you are 6'8" and 305 pounds, and you could throw an 18-pound shot put over 70 feet. I'm 5'6" and a half. I'm about like 170 pounds. How far do you think you could throw me?
Probably 20 feet, I'd say.
Well then, I played baseball in high school, and I was pretty good, but I couldn't throw very far. Has that ever been an issue for you?
Not too much. I've always had a pretty good arm. Played quarterback when I played football and messed around. I mean, I just thrown a baseball, and I've always had a good arm. So it's when it comes to throwing stuff, I'm pretty versatile.
In addition to an Olympic gold medal at home, you've also got your master's degree in finance. In fact, you were in the middle of pursuing your master's while you were training for the Olympics. Talk about how you went about balancing your academics and athletics.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, they have like the college time triangle, which is social life, sleep, and schoolwork. And you add athletics, and it's like you had 4, and it's choose 2. So you've got athletics, schoolwork, sleep, social life. So it's like focus on 2, and maybe you can get a 3rd. So I mean, when I was in my master's program, it was schoolwork and athletics and kind of some sleep and no social life. So I mean, it's a lot of just time management, and as a student athlete, it's definitely difficult, but I feel like it prepared me very well for just life post-college. I mean, you don't have that structure, but you do learn to be responsible and manage yourself in those situations. You might have to go to bed at 8 o'clock on a Friday because you have to wake up for Saturday morning practice, and then you got to write a paper, or you've got the worst thing as an athlete is group projects, especially in master's programs. They're pretty group project heavy. So trying to schedule that around training can be a pain. So you have to be pretty flexible, and got to get good at working with others.
And finally, aside from sweeping the Drake Relays tomorrow, what are your athletic aspirations for the future, and should we expect to see you defend your title at Tokyo 2020?
Yeah, I mean, for me, always looking forward to the next Olympics, 2020, and so that's the long-term goal. Before then, I definitely would like to break the world record. It's 75 foot 10 3/4, so we're getting a little bit closer. Hopefully, just keep moving towards it. It's still a little ways out there, but I feel like it's getting to the point now that it's possible. And so there's that, and as well, a special one for me is 2021. The first World Championships in the U.S. are in Eugene, Oregon, and so I'm from Oregon, and so that would be a pretty special homecoming for me.
All right, well, thanks a lot for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
Back to you guys.
You can see Ryan Crouser in the men's elite shot put event. It is scheduled for 2:30 tomorrow.
The relays doesn't end until tomorrow evening. We in Drake Broadcasting System are wrapping up our relays coverage.
We'd like to take this time to thank everyone who has been in our pre-shows, the Drake individuals involved, and of course you, the viewers.
Because of you, we've been able to continue covering the Drake Relays for more than 20 years.
From everyone in Drake Broadcasting System, thank you for watching and have a happy relays.